think we're live. Hey, what's up, everyone? Happy Tuesday. This is BTC Jack Sparrow, joined here today by Don. Don, how are you doing?
I am doing well. Happy Wednesday, middle of the week. How are you doing, man?
To be honest, I'm a little bit. My immune system got a little screwed by the whole trip to New York and coming back, the jet lag, and we did have a little party there. So my immune system has been struggling ever since. But I'm recovering. Like yesterday, I didn't feel well. That's the reason why we didn't stream on Tuesday yesterday. And but I'm doing good. I mean, I cannot complain.
Consensus was good. A lot of
Consensus was really good. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was great seeing everyone again. It's funny to know that Crypto Donald doesn't look like a duck in real life. Against popular belief. No, it was really cool to meet some more people that I haven't met in real life before, and then seeing the whole crew, the Bravado crew. I missed you guys.
Yeah, certainly. Likewise, man.
We'll do it again in Chicago soon, right?
Yep, that's the plan.
All right. So this is a special episode, Don. It's our 10th episode. We've been trying to do this every week, but there have been weeks where we didn't get around to it. We've been incredibly busy. Our trading community has been growing very strongly, very fast, and this means that at times our attention was required elsewhere. But because it's our 10th anniversary, I guess, right? We're gonna do a little giveaway, and it's gonna be very simple. After this live stream, the Bravado Trading at Bravado Trading Twitter will tweet the replay of this live stream, and we have a quiz question for you guys to answer. And if you reply to that tweet, which has the replay of this live stream, you can win, if you are right, a free access to our trading community for 1 month. So the question, and you're gonna find out during this this episode. You'll have to watch it, you have to listen, but I want you guys to answer the question: what is Don's favorite car or car brand? Sometime in this episode we'll get to that, and if you get it right, you make a chance of winning free access to our community. So what is our plan for today? What are we going to talk about, Don?
I think we're going to go over some just Bitcoin, just current price action, maybe touch on Ethereum a little bit, and then we'll be going over just strictly going through Binance coins. We're approaching a hopeful alt season, so let's scan through like 15-20 coins just very, very, very quickly, and kind of just get a high time frame preference, and then we'll go from there. What do you think?
Cool. Yeah, let's do that. I'm quickly gonna let this. I have a cat here who's really needing some attention. I'm just gonna kick her out, and then I'll be right back.
Take your time.
All right, that's one cat less. Shitcoins. Let's see. What's up, Kuhn? What's up, Miami Alex? We're definitely gonna check out Zoe. It's gonna be on our list. Don't kick the cat. I didn't kick the cat. I kicked the cat out, Libs. Come on. Like, I would not hurt an animal. Yeah, so basic game plan. When I think alts are about to get bullish, I have a trend analysis algorithm that I can use to really quickly skim through all the Binance charts. And if there is any bullishness to it, it will show it. So it's probably going to take me like 2 or 3 seconds per chart. I'm going to save these charts, and then eventually I'm going to pass these off to Don and then we're going to go through them and see if there actually are setups or where we would like to enter in case of an alt season happening. So bottom line is, I have to share my screen, I guess.
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice. So you should be able to see my screen right now. There's a bit of noise outside here. Sorry for that. If you guys are hearing that too loud, let me know, and then I'll close the windows. But basic bottom line is, on this algorithm, you will see green arrows if there is any potential bullishness, and then down here it shows, if it's green, it shows you that the bulls are in charge. If it's red, the bears are in charge. And this is Matic. It gave a signal to go long, well, around 100 sats, more or less, and then it flew like 6x. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go through that entire. Can I move this? We're gonna go through that entire list. And this is ADA. So ADA is still bearish. ADX is not sure what it wants. It gave a long signal and then it gave a short signal. So we could add ADX to our purple list, and then eventually we'll go through the purple list. This is Eternity. Eternity is bullish, so let's put it on the purple list. AGI is about to turn green. It's indecisive, could turn green, but I'm just gonna skip it. I do think that's gonna be a banger, but might take some time. AMB, man, I don't want to talk about AMB. That thing got wrecked, but I feel bad for putting it to purple, but that's the rule. AppCoin is purple. Next. Ardor isn't ready according. I mean, like anything I'm saying right now, if there's no green arrow, it doesn't mean that it cannot pop like in 2 seconds and then all of a sudden show a green one. But yeah, for now it's still in a downtrend, and the trend analysis algorithm does not.
We had an individual ask, do we share that within our paid group, your current indicator?
This indicator is currently not shared. I'm thinking about doing that. I've been working on it for a very long time, so I need to figure out what I want to do with it and how I'm going to present that. It's the backbone of it is being used to create a very efficient bot. But we currently do have a trend bot that trades Bitcoin, and that thing went long like 3,600, 4,200, 5,300. So there is a bot within our community that rocks. This specific algorithm right now is not available to anyone. I'm sorry. Let's see what we got here. Aaron.
I don't even have access to it.
That's right. Okay, so this is interesting. This is AirSwap, and AirSwap has been going up. It's been performing not that bad, but it's really telling us there's a lot of sell pressure still on this thing. You see how red this is? So for now, there's no reason for me to believe there's going to be a bullish trend setting up for AirSwap, unfortunately. Basic attention coin is kind of like balancing out, but it has not shown any signs of reversal yet, according to the algorithm. Same for Bitcoin Diamond. Ooh, Bitcoin Cash. Like, I know you actually really like Bitcoin Cash in the near future, Don. So I'm just gonna add that to the list. It's not as convincing on the algorithm for me, but skip.
Yeah, I could. I actually opened that analysis up, and I'll share that with everyone. I actually have a full setup for that, so.
Blue Zell doesn't look too bad, but I'm gonna skip it. Binance Coin is bullish. Of course, Binance Coin is bullish. Binance Coin has been bullish since what? Like,
dude, yeah.
This thing gave a signal at like 130k sats. bummer. So Bancor is trying. I'm not really sure about the FA behind Bancor. I've known they have a lot of issues. I'm just gonna skip. Ethos, skip. Yeah, if there's any other questions on the YouTube channel, I don't right now. I don't have them here. So if you can pass them on, let me know, Don.
Yeah, I gotcha. He's one of them saying Mana. I've been watching Mana myself. Let's see.
Actually, this doesn't look that bad. Not this one. This one, BitShares.
BitShares, BTC.
It could flip trend. I'm gonna add it to the list. So Don, what car would you like to drive when you grow old?
A nice Lamborghini.
Nice Lamborghini.
A genie.
Nothing else? Like you don't like other cars?
Nah, Lamborghini's nice.
All right. Well, maybe if we can flip some shitcoins today, maybe one day. Ooh. So, I mean, this is seller. Let me see if I can zoom in on this. Whoops. Yeah, that thing flew already, I guess, and then it's coming back down. You want to add that to the list, or do you want to skip seller?
What? Skip seller. I'm not getting. I wish I was getting. I'm trying to reload and see if I can get the response that you're getting, the purple on my trading view. I don't think it allows that. Do they?
Response to purple?
Yeah, like you know how you're indicating your purple ones. I when I reload, I still don't get them like that.
I think you can choose the color. Like there's several colors. All right, I'm just gonna skip. Ooh, CMT actually looks nice. Purple. How do you think this chart looks? It does not look too bad. It's like,
what is it? How syndicated?
Indicator, yeah. So some kind of like predictive protocol.
QKC.
I think Civic is bottoming out, but I'm gonna skip it here. Dash does look really good, by the way. Like it kind of looks like Ethereum, like a reclaimed structure. So purple, man, it would be so awesome to have a full blown out alt season. After I'm going through this list, I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at to actually indicate whether alt season is really going to happen. I think for me, it's really going to be dependent on what Ethereum is going to do versus BTC. And I have a chart of all the altcoins versus BTC, which kind of gives some indication as well. So if you guys pay attention to that, that's a way you can actually keep track whether we're going to see like a full blown out alt season market wide, or that it's just some random IEO coins on Binance. And what happened to TNT? TNT just
mooned, didn't it?
That, yeah, it did. Like 2x, more than 2x today. This is weird as well. Like streamer data coin, it just pumped but just came back, and it's been doing that so many times. So I'm not really sure. I think there's some bag holders that are just still distributing, and it's super red down here on so the bears are in charge of it. I'm gonna stay away from that coin for sure until it really shows a nice trend, but I don't believe the bulls are bullish on that. Same for Decred. Den doesn't look all that bad. Just gonna stay away from it. DigiXDAO, same story. DLT2, DNT2. there's not all that many coins that really look right. Like, it's very speculative to enter right now. There's no trend change. There's no higher highs on a lot of these coins. There's no lower lows on a lot of these coins on a daily time frame. I do think this coin has a good opportunity to break out though. So purple, Enigma. I mean, Enigma, bulls bears are in balance, as you can see. We're at the 0 level right here, and it is like making a higher low right here. If it can close above these closes here, I do think that it could start to see a reversal. So we're gonna add that one too. We're really fundamentally fond of that project, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. That project is, yeah.
I mean, Engine, of course, we're bullish on Engine. Ethereum Classic, that would be funny if Ethereum Classic just pumps 2x, because it never pumps, but it did pump quite a lot. So let's put it on the list.
Put it on the list.
As you can see, Ethereum is it printed some heavy candles, 3 in a row. It's consolidating. I do think that it's going to continue. I do have another chart for Ethereum that I'm going to show you guys later, but I do love Ethereum, and this indicator has been quite accurate along the way. As you can see, it's been bearish ever since like 0.08 coming down. Let's see if we can go back in time. I mean, it went short shortly after the all-time high. So if this thing goes green, some weird shit can happen. So definitely gonna watch Ethereum. We got a position in Ethereum. I'm quite heavy on Ethereum right now. I got some spot, and I'm trading the BitMEX contract right now versus BTC. So keep an eye on ETH. Should I even put that on the list? Well, I think it's obvious. Here we go. Maybe we should already just start analyzing a few, and then maybe if we have time left, I go through a few more.
Yeah. Let's jump through them. Where are we starting at? ADX.
Let's see. I got my list here.
Fairly quick.
ADX, bro. Hit it.
All right, let me see. I'm gonna be fairly quick when I scan through these guys, so bear with me. All right. All right, ADX. Okay, so what I see off ADX, I'm gonna move some things here. Sorry. All right. So wait, why is this here? Cancel. Okay. All right, so ADX. So what I'm seeing here, obviously this big move started off the tap of this weekly supply. Weekly supply got tapped and dumped. All right, we created a new low. I'd say, okay, so my stance is, if we reclaim, it's starting to look, starting to gain some momentum here. If we gain this prior low at 1977 and 1907, right here, if we can, uptick and hold it, I would say a clear move. Let me look on the daily here.
What do you think about this whole capitulation? Like, some of these alts they got versus Bitcoin got wrecked over 50%. During the last couple of weeks as Bitcoin started soaring up. If we go up from here on these alts, do you think there's going to be a lot of sell pressure, or do you think a lot of, like, there's no one left to sell, just like with the 3K bottom on Bitcoin?
That's a good question. I'm not exactly sure. I would say,
It's in general, you often see after a capitulation, you start ranging like at the low, and then you kind of break out like Bitcoin did, and then
there's
very little resistance left if it really was capitulation. So the question is, was it capitulation that has the majority of all the bag holders sold their bags, and at that point, people start foaming back in as they go through the stages of disbelief and actually buy the top again. So it does pay off sometimes to buy the blood, but you have to be very careful that you're not buying a falling knife, right?
Right. Exactly. So yeah, this one's kind of fairly simple. I mean, we've kind of have an extremely steep sell off from a tap at weekly supply, which is expected. You got some high time frame supply that was taken, and we got a proper dump. If we do reclaim this 1907 and 1952, I would look for, where's my brush here? I would look for, hey, let's reclaim, come back, buy the retest, and target this daily order block at the very least. If you're looking for a swing play, there's some clear high time frame demand on the 3-day, and look, as well as the weekly. Let me delete some stuff here. Sorry, guys.
How's the volume looking on that coin? Like,
I actually don't know much about this coin in general. It's been pretty low. It's been
I have no clue about 50% of the coins on Binance, what they do, but
yeah. So this is clear supply right here. Here's some weekly supply. This was the last up move before it's big dump, right? So this is, we're going to be big money's looking to if they're buying down here, they're looking to sell right here as well. So if, we might get some consolidation above just above this prior low at 1907. That was our primary low. Let me make sure there's nothing else behind that.
So basically, that coin has the ability to 2x if this is the bottom, right?
If this is the bottom, yeah, like that's if this is the bottom, like it's going to say a lot. So we got a monthly range there that I've identified there. Like I said, we reclaimed 1906, 1907. We consolidated a little bit. I said a proper move to 1359 if you got the patience and time, no doubt. But I would wait for further confirmation till we actually reclaim on a high time frame close, and then trade it higher. So this is I'm not that interested in this one, to be honest. I'd be more interested if we get some more consolidation below this before its next move.
Cool.
So what's the next one? Mana. I think Mana was one.
I don't think we passed Nano on the list because we went alphabetical.
Mana.
If you want to do Mana, go for it. We got Eternity, AMB, AppCoin. We have a list of a lot, so maybe like if we want to discuss all of them, just like a quick glance, we might have to go through them a bit quicker.
Yeah, real quick. Definitely quicker. All right, so here's Mana. We actually tapped this is 3-day demand. We tapped the equilibrium of 3-day demand. What I'm looking for here is I'm looking for a reclaim of range low. Let's break back into range low. I'm looking to buy the retest here, targeting range EQ and quite even possibly range high. So that's it on Mana. I'm not gonna sit in this position right here. I'm not looking to make an entry here. I'm looking for the reclaim at 804 of the primary range low. We reclaim. I'll take it to higher prices. So next one. Next one.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have time to like some of these alts will pop, but if it's gonna be a real alt season, we're probably gonna have a couple of weeks to play it. So it's we're just trying to get a good read on what is interesting right now, and then as we identify them, then we're gonna start and wait for more confirmation, like Don is explaining on all of these charts. So we're not jumping in blindly right now. We just want to have a good overview of what coins we think already are showing the signs. So you're doing a great job, Don.
Okay, what's the next one? Can you just
what about Eternity, AE?
AE.
BTC.
Hey, look, it's funny because I'm looking at my desktop right now. I do these streams off my laptop, and my desktop has AE right in front of me, and I'm gonna just pull up AE as a chart because I was looking at it this morning, and it does look fairly nice. I was thinking about making an entry and didn't, and it moved for me. So yeah, this morning, why didn't it come up? Okay,
this is Eternity, right?
Yeah, this is Eternity. So this is what I've seen here. So we created a range here. We swept highs, we traded below, retested, and here's some 3-day demand, 3-day supply right here. This guy. If you're in a long, I'd look to find the equilibrium of this demand, find the equilibrium or high and low, divided by 2. Find that, and I would look to sell some off there. If we don't reclaim, if we got to close above the equilibrium on that 3-day demand. What I actually like that from a low time frame perspective, what I saw this morning when I came in the office was this exactly. I saw this guy right here. Okay,
that's bullish.
And Yeah, I saw this guy right here, and I'm like, and I swear to God, guys, I was looking at it when price was just closed this 4 hours. Like, man, I should probably make an entry here. So I didn't. I actually didn't, and look, we moved higher. So this is a 4 hour bullish block that we created, and price deviated from there. What I'd expect though is there's definitely some liquidity above this high that we just created, which is probably near this equilibrium of this demand. So if you're looking to make an entry, I would not make it spot right now. I would wait for a retrace to find the equilibrium of this, which is 704. If 704 holds, that gives personally, that gives I think clear confirmation that we're going to move higher. But like I said, I don't like playing these. Look at this. I mean, you're fighting a downtrend here, guys. So I'm personally not interested in this setup. I don't play these kinds of setups because it's a clear downtrend. So what's the next one?
The next one. Let's have a look at CMT BTC.
CMT. It's a new one for my book. All right. Whoa. All right. So let me look at this real quick. Oh man.
Cyber miles.
What is this thing, by the way? Any idea? Okay, so this is
let's have a look at the daily though. Like,
yeah, looking at the daily. I was just looking at the weekly, trying to get a high time frame buy. So actually, before we do that, let me look at monthly. All right, well, this primary low is juicy at 21, but I don't think we'll get there. But I see, look, we just actually got rejected here. We actually just got rejected right off this block, right? This 3-day block, this equilibrium. We just got rejected there. So let's zoom in to the daily here. Let's see what kind of demand we're working with if we do get a little bit of a sell-off. A little bit steeper. I don't know. I'm not really the biggest fan of this price action. It kind of looks like a V potential inverse. I would not play this one, but from a daily perspective,
what would you like to see to trade?
Yeah, what would I like to see? Honestly, what I'd like to see is
if you break out of that box you have drawn.
Yeah. I want to see this low. I want to see this 4 hour get swept. This 4 hour at 457 into some demand because there's some clear demand here. 457 gets swept. If we get a 457 sweep here, I'll go ahead and point that out for you. If we get a down move into demand, reclaim this low, and on a third tap into this supply, I think we break out. That's what I would be looking for at the very least. I would not enter here. It could break up. I'm not interested though. What's the next one?
Let's have a look at Engine because that thing has a lot of fundamentals going. Yeah, ENJ.
ENJ, BTC. All right, cool. This guy, this one's actually kind of juicy. Hold on, let me look at this. It's juicy on a lower time frame. Oh man! All right, so here's a weekly. Okay, looks like a relief bounce. Look, where did we bounce? Here, this is where we bounced right here. Boom, that's clear, guys. This is a breaker. Boom, downtrend. This is a clear breaker. I'll give you a quick explanation what a breaker is, guys. All right, so a breaker is a clear. It's a failed order block. Okay, it's a failed order block. We tried, and we had a down move, right? But we broke and we went straight through it. We went straight through it. It didn't cause any resistance, guys. So we went straight through it, traded up. This is a daily breaker.
It's a bearish order block then, and when tested, it just got ignored. So usually that is a level where you long it.
Right, exactly. So that from a weekly perspective, you had a nice weekly close. Tap into that breaker, boom, you move up. So it could be a relief bounce right now. I'm not too sure, but if I was in a position, I'm looking for a close above this block to get some bullish momentum. which an EQ is roughly 2490, let's say. I don't have that exact number. But notice how we tap, move, we close above, we tap and move up. I'm not too interested until I see a full weekly confirmation of a reversal. I'm not trying to play a small swing on this guy. But you know, for as far as that was a nice tap. That's the beginning start. Maybe consolidate, go back a little bit lower, sweep this primary low into a little bit lower demand, and because it really didn't tap the equilibrium of this block. So I'm all for moving up and then coming back out, sweeping into the demand equilibrium before we move higher. So, but like I said, I'm not interested in this one. What's the next one?
Let's see.
Talk to me.
Let's have a look at Enigma.
Enigma. Right. I think I have one myself. I've been watching. I traded Enigma on that big pump. Okay, so here's Enigma. Look at that bad boy. Let me clear this baby up. All right, cool. So Enigma, we actually are currently trading below this primary low, this low. We tapped it, reclaimed, swept all this primary lows, right? And we had this big move, right? Boom, let's delete this guy. We're not too worried about that right now. So what I'm looking for here, so here's a weekly, let's see. I'm not too fond of this one, to be honest. This high needs to be taken out at 9K sats. Might get a wick up there, but let me check the lower time frame. It's a weird one, man.
Yeah, so basically my thesis right here is there's two options. Either we're going to see one more last leg down as Bitcoin corrects, or this is really like the spring and all these coins have no resistance above anymore because the majority of the backholders sold their coins in panic and thinking that Bitcoin would continue upwards. And on the lower time frames, we're kind of like trying to find the coins that are reversing trend. And reversing trend basically for us means that you make higher highs, higher lows, and you take out a previous swing high that pushed you downwards. So for example, on ENG, what's the level you want to see reclaimed on the daily?
ENG?
Mm-hmm. No, the chart you're on.
Oh, ENG. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. Let's see. I want to see it reclaim. Well, right now it's reclaiming 6102. To actually have a bullish bias, I need to close above, 9K sats, which is going to be really, really tough. But as far as a swing, I could see, like I said, I could see a swing to 9K sats before we move lower. But I would not play this because, man, there's so many wicks off this thing that I don't know what to play. So reclaim.
Well, basically on a daily time frame, as long as you claim your recent, yeah, that one.
Yeah, 74.84. Then we get a confirm a move to 9K sats, 90.63 liquidity. So essentially, we need to move above 74.84. It might be a little bit lower than 74.84, but that's a start. Like I said, I don't really play these type of plays. What's the next one?
We have a lot to choose from. Let's go to Bitcoin Cash.
Oh, my guy. All right, cool. Here. So quick explanation. So real quick. So I actually traded Bitcoin Cash when we were developed this range down in this one. We had a 60% move or 70. I don't know what it was exactly. But anyway, so here's a daily, right? So what I'm seeing here is notice how we created a high and created a low here on the daily. That's our high time frame range, right? Okay. So now price didn't go sweep the high, failed to. Okay, we traded lower, we're sweeping the low, we created a new intraday range below our high time frame range. So I'm going to zoom in here at this intraday range. Okay, look at this clean intraday range on the 12-hour, right? I'm going to show you this. So look at this, we created a low, we created a high. Okay, look at these wicks, boom, 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 got rejected. at the we got rejected here on the daily. That was the daily. We got a slight close above, but not enough, not convincing enough. And I've been sitting here waiting. So this is my play here. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to retrace slightly back below this high time frame range low, quite possibly into this intraday range EQ. You know, there is some demand here on the 12-hour. I'll show you here. Make that blue. Okay, so there's some clear demand there, right? We got clear rejection off this, that our primary high, a previous primary high, boom, shot down. And I'm looking to long down here. As long as our intraday range equilibrium at 48490 holds up, I believe this is a go and this is a long. At the very least, we'll see our range EQ. You know, I'll probably maybe trim off 5 or 10% there, range EQ, and I'm targeting range high here. I think Bitcoin Cash is ready for another big run and take out these highs and quite even possibly price discovery as far as this chart, because like I said, this is a BCH ABC. It's a little bit different than from when it forked. So that's what I'm looking for. And you know, proper stop loss would be below range AQ if you want to go below equal lows. If you want to go slightly below EQ, I mean, the risk reward is certainly there in my opinion. And what was that, Jack?
Nothing. I think it looks sweet if it manages to break out. It's been trying to tap that resistance, like it's been going into there a lot of times. So it kind of makes me think that the amount of sellers left there has to slightly become exhausted.
Right. Yeah. Certainly.
And, you know, the moment, you know, apparently there's still a lot of people who are trying to sell there. But if at a certain point, a lot of people try to sell there and then price manages to break through, you usually see a very, very, very explosive move because the market is wrong. And when the market is wrong, oftentimes the acceleration in a different direction is quite substantial. So that's interesting. I want to maybe take a quick look at what I'm seeing for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Josh is asking about Augur. So I'm quickly gonna talk about Augur really quick.
You want to jump? You want me to stop sharing mine?
Yeah, I'll
do your thing.
So Augur, based on trend analysis, it's not bullish yet. It's in fact still in a bearish trend. It's been in a bearish trend since 4,000 sat, and it kind of like reconfirmed that bearish downtrend at around 3,000 sats. It did sweep the low, Josh, right here, so that could be bullish, but this little structure is very small compared to our high time frame structure. If I have to look at where Augur is going to be trading to and what the high time frame support is, I would assume there is some support slightly below our current price towards this range here. You see, this is like the upside of this accumulation range. So I do think that we'll have to trade there at least. But I think what is very likely for Augur to trade towards is to reach for the swing low that saw a continuation of this uptrend here and the breakout of the range. That's a very logical place for people to start buying. So that's another 300 sats below our current price. So for now, I'm not bullish on Augur unless we can see a sharp bounce with a lot of volume, indicating there is some bigger participants that are loading up on Augur. What I think is interesting to look at is Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is going to probably be most important to what alts are going to do. And I do have a pinned thread on my Twitter profile at BTC_Jack Sparrow on Twitter that has a full analysis of why I think we're high time frame bearish on Bitcoin. What it boils down to very simply is there's this resistance here at 8.4K, which was the target of this accumulation between the 3 and 4K range. we went long at $3,400, and now we're here. We've reached the distribution target of this accumulation right here. And there's some horizontal levels here. The average price that was paid, weighted by volume during the entire bear market, is also at 8,500. So there's a lot of confluence right there. And we had this parabola on Bitcoin that got broken. So that kind of looks like, it looks a bit like this, where you can see we have all these trend lines accelerating, price kept accelerating, and then all of a sudden we start breaking them, and then we started to get rejected on these trend lines on the other side. So I do think that Bitcoin is rolling over to the downside. A lot of people are still very bullish. I feel like I'm the only bear left on this planet. But after this immense run, it would not surprise me to see Bitcoin correct for a while. And we're constantly, right, like ever since the 8,400 high, we've been struggling with reclaiming highs. This is a lower high, this is a lower high, this is a lower high. If there's no volume coming in on a breakout, I do think there's just not enough bulls left, and that we're currently seeing distribution. So what could happen if Bitcoin is going to dump once distribution is kind of done in this range? It's probably going to accelerate downwards very fast if that's the case, like if it's bearish. And I do think at that point, alts will have a little hit. They will receive a hit. It will depend on how hard alts will dip. And then once Bitcoin is done dumping and starts to consolidate, I think that's where they will bounce. Maybe alts will just not care anymore because there's no sellers left, and we'll see alts stay stable versus Bitcoin when Bitcoin dumps. If that's the case, that's very bullish, I would assume. But it's something to keep in mind, and it's one of the reasons why I want to move very slow on entering alts. I don't mind missing a certain percentage of price movement until I have some firm confirmation that we're actually going to see alt season. And what's better to look at than Ethereum versus Bitcoin? In my opinion, a lot of people are kind of not as hypey anymore about Ethereum, but we do not have to forget that Ethereum is our second biggest coin in the market, and that means there's a lot of volume in it. So usually what you see during an alt season is that alts are used as a method of distributing Bitcoin and flipping Bitcoin by whales and having a distraction and create demand for Bitcoin, because people buy Bitcoin, and with this Bitcoin they buy alts. And if big whales want to sell their Bitcoin, they will have to create demand for Bitcoin. So Ethereum plays an important role in it because it's one of the most liquid altcoins out there, like together with XRP, EOS, Litecoin. So they will be used as to shift capital into, as they require as much as liquidity as possible to reverse. So if we look at Ethereum is showing a very clear wick of accumulation pattern. We had this entire sell-off on Ethereum, and then we had a sharp run up. We came down, we had a double low here, and we actually made a higher high. So what Ethereum is doing right here is trying to reclaim this orange, this green box, and this green box is basically our pivot of bullish market structure. So we kind of on record volume pushed through that and then retested the green box, which is, I think, very bullish. And there's this diagonal here that it's resting upon as well. So what I do think, if we zoom out further on Ethereum, is that there is, I'm not sure which chart I want to use, but is that there's a very strong possibility that all these trend lines are going to drag us towards this green downtrend line here. And if you look at it from all-time high, we also broke down the downtrend here. So there's a lot of confluence on why Ethereum is going to probably try and trade upwards versus Bitcoin. It might lose versus USD, but if Bitcoin drops with it. So this is my indicator. If we can see another sharp move on Ethereum, I do think that alt season is going to commence. And my calculations on what eventually will be the target of ETH BTC on the next bull cycle top of the ETH BTC. So that's not going to be in a couple of months, but in the next couple of years, is that we're going to trade back towards this red box here, which is the Wicca distribution target, which is the same method I use to predict the 8.4 resistance of Bitcoin right now. So I'm going to keep an eye on ETH BTC. I do think that if ETH BTC is going to run, there's going to be a lot of capital flowing to other smaller altcoins afterwards, and we'll have some very, very juicy alt season. So what's your favorite car again?
Lamborghini.
So
Italiano.
I think that kind of like shows our sentiment. Personally, I'm high time frame bearish on Bitcoin. That does get invalidated if we break out above like 86, 8,700 and close above that on a daily or 3-day time frame with a lot of volume on it. I'm not going to stick to a bear bias just because I want to be bearish. I'm going to flip that, because that means we're going to break a very strong resistance. And if you break a very strong resistance, that means you're very bullish. But I just don't see it happen. And I do have to protect my capital. We do have to protect our capital. We like more than 2.5x our portfolios on average within our team in the last couple of months. And yeah, we need to protect that. So we're going to be hedged short to protect that, and we do think that there's going to be a lot of juice in Ethereum, and then subsequently as Ethereum breaks out and people are starting to take profit, they're going to take this profit to smaller altcoins. So hopefully we can see that, because I've been waiting for this. Everyone has been waiting for this. It would be a gift, right, Don?
Yes, it sure would.
Let's see, is there anything else we want to add?
I think we're good. I mean, let's see. Bitcoin's dumping right now, 79.27.
I always joke with Don. I always send him inverse charts, and he's like, dude, just give me a normal chart.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that inverse chart drives me nuts.
I mean, if you work together all day, every day, you gotta joke around a little bit with each other. But if you invert this chart, doesn't matter. Like this pattern that you're seeing in this current chart, you can apply it on a non-inverse chart too. But it's called an over/under, and it's basically where you create a lower low after a downtrend, then you create a lower high with another lower low, and then you break into a higher high. And then you never make a lower low again. You make another higher low. And then once you break out of this consolidation, that's a long signal. Or you long towards the bottom of this range, which is this green arrow. And as you can see, I drew this chart like yesterday, and we got a few pips from this green line. It does get invalidated as if we break new highs, actually. So that's why I really don't want to see new highs. I prefer not to, because then this is textbook perfect over/under pattern, and it's quite a bullish one, because usually it's accumulation slash if you inverse it, it's distribution. So in this case, it would be distribution. So we'll have to see how that works out. Be careful, don't jump the gun too early on alts, guys. Even though a lot of these alts have been pumping like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6x in the last couple of days. If you're not sure, sometimes the downside can get you wrecked so easily, and then it's going to take a lot of effort to recover from that. So confirmation is key. You don't have to buy the bottom. You don't have to sell the top. You want to see a trend on a higher time frame and then ride that trend, because that's literally how, if you play it slow, how you make a lot of money. Like within my margin account, I created a new margin account in January to trade a new strategy. In USD terms, that's almost 6x right now. And I've only made 3 trades. So don't overtrade. Stay safe. And we're going to release a tweet with the replay if you reply on that tweet what Don's favorite car is or car brand, we're gonna draw a winner to get free access to our trading community next week in our next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think that's it for me. You have anything to add?
No, that was well said. Well, that was good. All is set.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.
Take care, guys.
Show our face. Bye-bye.
Take care.